Dear students, myself Khilesh Kumar, Assistant Professor in English. Welcome to English Literature class. Today we are going to study about a very remarkable and fantastic poem, Alexander's Feast by John Dryden. So, friends, Alexander's Feast is a very famous poem composed by John Dryden, and the poem is also known as the power of music. The power of music. And we know that music has a great power, and music can change the mood of human being. So, Alexander's Feast. Alexander here refers to Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was a king. And Alexander the Great belongs to the ancient Greek kingdom. And in ancient time, Alexander the Great created one of the largest empires of the ancient world. So Alexander the Great had a very large empire. So in the poem, John Dryden presents a picture of a feast banquet, or we can say a party. So a feast which is given by Alexander the Great, and in that feast John Dryden mentions about a very powerful musician, and by this powerful musician, John Dryden tries to convey his thoughts regarding the power of music. In the poem, John Dryden wants to convey his thoughts regarding power of music through Alexander's Feast. John Dryden was born in 1631 and died in 1700. John Dryden was an English poet and playwright. He was critics also. John Dryden was appointed England's first poet laureate in 1668. The rank poet laureate had a very significant place in England in ancient time, and John Dryden was the eminent, was the prominent, was the popular poet at that time. That's why he was appointed England's first poet laureate in 1668. It means John Dryden had got a very marvelous position in his time, and the marvelous position was poet laureate. Some famous creations by John Dryden: Absalom and Hatchet of Hell, Macflagnor, The Hind and the Panther Matter. So these are a few famous creations. John Dryden wrote so many famous and remarkable creations in his time, but Absalom and Hatchet of Hell, Macflagnor, The Hind and the Panther Matter, these are, I think, a few creations, famous creations. Now, the poem Alexander's Feast, or the Power of Music, is in form of an ode. So let's try to understand the meaning of ode. What do you mean by an ode? Ode, we can say, is a poem and which is addressed to someone. So when we find this characteristic in a poem, the poem is addressed to someone, it means the poem has a characteristic of an ode. So an ode is addressed to someone. It is basically lyric. It means an ode has lyrical qualities. Lyrical qualities, or we can say an ode is a type of a song which can be sung to music. So an ode is basically a lyric, but longer than a lyric. Subject matter and style. has a elevated, dignified, refined and serious subject matter and style. So if we see subject matter and style, written style of an ode, we find subject matter elevated, dignified, refined and serious. So an ode doesn't have trivial and petty subject matter and style. Next, Alexander's feast. It was written to celebrate Saint Cecilia's Day. Saint Cecilia. Who is Saint Cecilia? Saint Cecilia is the patron saint of music. Saint Cecilia is regarded as the patron saint of music. The poem begins at the feast. The feast, or we can say banquet, given by Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was a king, was a ruler who has a large empire, and at the feast given by Alexander the Great at the Persian capital Persepolis after the defeat of Darius. So before this feast, a battle, a war between Alexander the Great and Darius, and in that battle Alexander the Great got a victory, and after that victory he gave a feast. So the feast was given when he got a victory over the Persian king Darius. So it was written to celebrate Saint Cecilia's Day, and Saint Cecilia as the patron saint of music. The poem begins at the feast given by Alexander the Great over the defeat of Darius, the Persian king. So this is your part first of the Alexander feast or the power of music by John Dryden. We will see the remaining part in our second video. So thank you so much.